Dang. I'll start in a second. We'll hit live and we'll start in a second.
It's got to be, for me, it's going to be Texas A&M's running back.
Oh, thanks. You just ruined my pick, so appreciate that.
Wow.
I'm just kidding. That's who I had, but I had someone else at first, but then I ended up picking him.
Well, that can be ours together because I don't have the stats, and you could just.
It's all good.
Say,
I got the stats. We're good. We'll go with that.
I think my whole player is going to be South Carolina's football team. Does that count?
Hey, I told y'all Texas A&M was going to beat LSU. That was a good game. That was my lock of the week, too.
What do you mean, though? You picked that as lock of the week? You're talking about spread?
Yeah. You don't remember?
No, I don't remember. Maybe
I picked A&M with 10.5 point spread.
Maybe you did.
And they beat them by 15.
All right, boys and girls. Let's see this real quick.
Damn.
He kills me with that. All right, boys and girls. I still have yet to see a girl.
Is it lagging really bad for y'all, or is it just me?
It's probably just you, boss man.
I think you're assuming my gender. I don't appreciate that.
Yeah, let's quit that, please. Thanks.
How you holding up?
All right, I sent out the stream. Sorry. If you do join, we are going live for our podcast. It'll be posted on Spotify tomorrow. This is the non-edited version on YouTube. We're doing our picks, our championship picks this week. So if you do join, I know Bryson said he knows someone that's going to join here shortly, supposedly. So a couple others. So, so we are going to be recording a podcast. You can comment in the chat if you want to comment in the chat, and we'll notice the chats throughout the recording as well. Preston, you good over there, dog? Are you still? I can wait. We'll wait a minute while you fix your.
Yeah, is it lagging really bad?
You're lagging. That's about it. For some reason you're lagging now. We're not lagging. I mean, I don't think I am. I'm not lagging for you guys, Josh, am I?
I'm asking, am I lagging?
Nope.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Yes. That's what I said. Yes. You're like in and out. You're like good for a minute, and then you're good now, I think. For some reason,
what if Florida never lost a game?
What'd you say, Preston? Start with that. We can wait a minute. We'll just wait. We'll just wait on the live for a minute. We'll give you like 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
I'm going to start using my phone. Hopefully that's better.
All right. Sounds good.
Yeah. He said, well, wait a minute, ho.
He lagging worse than DJ's passes on Saturday, says Graham. Okay. Yeah. I wonder if I wish I could put these up there and then remove them.
That's pretty cool. It pops up on my screen. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it'll pop up for everybody. Yeah, it'll pop up for everybody, but I can hide it. I'll show them and then hide them. Like the ones I see, I'll show and then I'll hide them. I'll show them for a second. I see one. But we're going to start here shortly, waiting on him to get on his phone. I might have to send him another invite here. Let's see.
No, he just should be able to use the same invite.
All right. Sounds good.
What the hell happened to Bryson?
Probably on the phone. I don't know. He went back. There's his dog. His dog's going ape shit right now. Like I said, if you do join, we are going live for our podcast in just a minute. This is the non-edited version. We'll be going. We're recording for our college football podcast. It'll be posted on Spotify and Apple Podcast here. Don't expect too many people to join this late, but we'll see. All right, Bryson's going now too. This is just fucking going stellar, ain't it? All right,
Preston,
What's up?
how you holding up, bud?
I mean, I'm doing fine. I am.
All right, boys. Everybody good? Preston, you can see us now?
Yeah, can y'all hear me
Eric.
good? I'm not lagging really bad?
No, we can hear you.
Not.
Think so. Everybody good? What is that noise? Holy shit.
What in the hell? Polar Express.
Somebody just walked right by me.
Okay. All right.
Were they dragging the trash can or something?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Ding, ding, ding. Josh guessed it. Okay. Hopefully that don't happen too often during the podcast. We'll see how often they drag it. If not, I'll just mute you when it comes to your part. And then we'll see. All right. You good, Bryce?
Yeah, good.
Everyone good? Josh is the only one that's good, it seems like. Anyway. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the College Football Weekly Matchup. Championship week. It is let's read
14.
Yeah, week 14. Well, it was conference championship. We'll redo that real quick. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the College Football Weekly Matchup. Week 14. It is conference championship week here in college football. We're here. We're ready. Had some great games last week. I know some people are very excited about. Others, maybe not so much. Josh is here with us on the phone. I think on the phone tonight. He's always on the phone, sometimes on the computer. Who knows? But Josh, how was your week of college football?
Yeah, man, it was great. My buddy, my Georgia fan buddy, came. I went and dropped off a Boston butt at his house, and then he smoked a brisket. He smoked them all Friday night. Came over Saturday, so we had a lot of food. All the games on. Michigan wore out Ohio State, which was pretty pleasant to see. And then, the nail biter for South Carolina and Clemson, that was a good game. It looked like Clemson was going to run away with it with a pick six there to start the game. And then they were up 14-0. And then, South Carolina just stayed the course. And then Bryce Young performed pretty well in the Iron Bowl against Auburn. And, I'll talk a little bit later about their hire they made today down there on the plains, which is ironic.
Gotcha. We do have one person in the chat tonight. We are live on YouTube that would like to let y'all know we do live streams on YouTube when we do this college football podcast. Now we're recording for Spotify and Apple Podcasts, but yeah, we had Graham here tonight, who's a big Carolina Gamecocks fan. Preston doesn't look too thrilled. Preston, how was your week of college football over there?
It was a good week of college football, I assume, for everybody else. For me, it was pretty miserable being able to watch DJ. I never loved him all season. I've supported him because he's worn the colors. He's not the answer. I'll be very frustrated if we get season 3 of him. He's not a good quarterback. We got into the beginning of the season. We were told that he was working on his footwork. And honestly, I've never seen him do multiple steps. He gets on one read, stays on it, throws it. Doesn't matter if it's a flying duck shot out of the sky. The dude's just not the guy. But besides that, the team fought really hard. Congratulations to South Carolina. They came out and they kicked Clemson's butt. They spotted us 9 points and were able to overcome that and really just put it on Clemson. They really could have put more points on the board at the very end of that game. Thankful they didn't, so we can keep some kind of respect at the end of the season. But congrats to South Carolina. They were able to do what I didn't think was possible, and they kicked our butts.
Big 2 games for Carolina there. They're looking pretty good so far. And we also have someone here that's always excited when his team loses, and he's only happy when Carolina or Kentucky or Appalachian State
or Vanderbilt,
any of his other 15
or West
teams
Virginia
wins. Bryson's
That's
here with
right.
us tonight. How was your week of college football?
I got to start off by saying Cox by 90. I mean, what a game that was. Thursday night had a good game, Mississippi State, Ole Miss. That was a good one. And Friday, Florida State. We were falling short. Trevor Etienne out there doing his thing at Florida. Yeah, the Michigan-Ohio State game, I wasn't really expecting that. The Michigan to just run all over Ohio State. Great game. I thought, the Carolina-Clemson game, Spencer throwing those 2 interceptions. I thought Clemson was going to blow them out, 45 to nothing, it looked like. Somehow they came back. They stayed together. Like Josh said earlier, that A&M, LSU, that was a big, pretty upset for LSU. But I think this week's going to be a very good week.
Gotcha. Let me plug in my light real quick. Hold on, so I can see.
Oh, my God.
I'm plugging in the goddamn thing. Take 2 seconds.
Hey, just giving you a heads up, Chris. My battery's on 47% because I had to go with my phone. If the laptop's not working, I might get dropped out of this.
He can't hear us right now, Preston.
I
He took his
can't hear you
headphones
right
out.
a second. No, I can't. Hold on.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously you can hear us because you just answered.
Yeah.
I feel so
What are you, Dave Houdini?
I mean, he said it'd take 2 seconds, dude. I could have done wired a light fixture up this time. This amount.
All right. Hopefully that
Preston, I
makes
do got a
sense.
question for you. I was wondering why did y'all never take DJ out? Why did y'all not put y'all's backup in? Why are y'all keep on going towards DJ every
because
single time?
Dabo's looking for a story. He wants to prove everybody wrong.
All right, let's keep it going, boys.
He's got the things.
Well,
we are keeping it going. We were going without you, Chris.
Yeah, sorry, Chris. I was asking Preston a
Preston.
question, but I got rudely interrupted.
Can I get back?
Pointed out a good point here is that he says he has 47% on his battery on his phone. So just keep that in mind as we are sitting here talking shit.
47%. That's a lot. You got a while.
He was just letting you know.
Yeah, mine's
47%. Anyway, we shouldn't last longer than 45 minutes an hour. We'll be out. All right. Anyways, let's recap some games here. Like I said, we had a great week of college football. I know we talked a little bit about the games overall, but one of the biggest games of the week, we had Michigan and Ohio State. Michigan handling Ohio State pretty easily, what it looked like. I mean, for a while there, I know it was a close game, for the first half, and then Michigan came out and dominated. Seemed like the second half, 45-23. Josh, any thoughts on the Michigan upset? Maybe upset over Ohio State.
Well, I mean, Ohio State came out with a good defensive game plan to stop Michigan's run game, and they were just able to air it out on them. And then, Ohio State goes in, makes some adjustments, and Michigan made some adjustments, and Ohio State did not have an answer for the run game in the second half, and they just got ran all over. Michigan's defense flexed its muscle in the second half. Wasn't too thrilled about Ohio State's quarterback's performance. He probably lost his Heisman talk right there in that game. Really don't know who the Heisman front runner is right now, but that game was fun to watch, dude. It was fun.
Gotcha, Bryson. Any thoughts on the Michigan game? I mean, Michigan moving up to number 2 now after defeating Ohio State. Any thoughts?
I do like how they are ranked number 2. I will put them there. I mean, Devon Edwards had a game. I mean, 216 rush yards, 2 touchdowns. C.J. Stroud, he didn't impress me that much. I wasn't expecting the Michigan just to manhandle Ohio State like that. The championship I was really hoping to see for the beginning of the season, Ohio State and Georgia in the national championship, but now he's looking like Georgia and Michigan. I think that's going to be a good game. But yeah, I was not impressed with Ohio State this weekend.
Gotcha, Preston. Any thoughts on that game?
Michigan looked like they took care of business. They really kind of answered the questions that everybody said that they weren't as good as Ohio State, and Ohio State was going to be able to do these different things. And Michigan really came out, held their own, really took away Ohio State's best options, and really kind of just played a very physical football game. And they were able to really put that game away about early into the third quarter. And they kind of just strangled Ohio State, and they looked really, really good, better than I even thought they were going to look. I obviously picked Ohio State last week, so Michigan, they seem like they're the real deal right now.
Gotcha. You guys are more of college football guys than me, but who is this 5'9" quarterback or however tall he is that Michigan's got? Is he always – how long has he been the quarterback over there, McCarthy? Has he been the quarterback all season, Josh? Or
J.J. McCarthy?
They had there was a quarterback controversy in the beginning of the year, but I think it was about the third game he took over.
Yeah, I thought so. I knew I haven't watched too much Michigan. I heard the name, but I never saw. I mean, how tall is that dude? That dude seems very
6'3". He's
Oh, is
6'3".
okay, he looks a lot smaller than that when you look at him on TV. I guess that's not that big for a quarterback, but he looks a lot smaller than 6'3". He's got to be like 6'3", 165 pounds. But anyway, let's keep it going here. We had, like we mentioned before, we had Clemson fall to Carolina. Josh, you didn't talk too much about it. Any thoughts on the Carolina game? Carolina defeating Clemson.
What time was that game?
12.
Was that game at 12?
12.
12.
It was at noon. Yes.
I had it on one of the smaller TVs, and then I ended up actually putting Georgia with their small lead at halftime up on the big TV because my Georgia fans were here and they were kind of freaking out a little bit. So I put them up on the big TV, but I did have South Carolina Clemson on the smaller TV. So I didn't really pay too much attention to that game. I know that, the pick six happened early, and then they got him with a safety, which that safety call was kind of, and I wasn't listening to any of it, but I was watching the replays of it, and I don't know if it was a safety, but they called it a safety. But yeah, South Carolina, I mean, I was laughing mostly at Ohio State getting blown out at home like that. But yeah, South Carolina really surprised me. I knew they were capable of doing it. I didn't think that Dabo Swinney would keep DJ in the game. So I thought that would give Clemson a chance to come back if they put that other guy in, because I think the other guy's better. I really do.
Gotcha. Preston, any more thoughts, on that game?
No, not really. The only thing that I'll do real quick is answer the question that Bryson asked me. Why doesn't Dabo take out DJ and put in Cade? There's two options, and this is coming from I would like to call myself a level-headed Clemson fan at this point. One is Cade's got something wrong with him. I don't know what it is, what he thinks going on with him. I don't know if he's not reading defenses really well. I mean, he didn't read the defense very well when he played versus Syracuse or Notre Dame because he threw interceptions very early into his short time in the games. Or Dabo is just trying to make this storyline like, oh, I told you so. Look at DJ. Everybody doubted him. Everybody doubted me. And everybody was saying that I was making the wrong decision. And look what DJ did. Look what he's doing for our university. And it's just not the case. DJ is not the answer quarterback for this university, I think. And I wish him all the best. I just don't really think he's that good as a quarterback. I don't get it. I mean, I watch every game, and some games he looks phenomenal, and some games he regresses from when he was a freshman in high school. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is. And there's a couple passes, if you watch the game and the replay, like the second pass coming into the third quarter, he wasn't touched. Nothing happened to him. I mean, and the ball just slips out of his hands, and he throws a duck, and it hits the ground 5 yards ahead of where he threw it. So I don't know what his problem is.
Gotcha. Graham's comment below: need to let Will Shipley play quarterback. He's the only one who knows how to football, says Graham. Just throwing out comments. He also mentioned someone's going to the portal. I must have missed the comment earlier. But yeah, like I said, we are live on YouTube, so we'll respond to those if you comment. But Bryson, any more thoughts on the Carolina game?
I mean, yeah, DJ going 8 for 29. Like, Dabo, why are you not pulling this man out? It just blew my mind. I feel bad. I do feel bad for the kid that fumbled the punt. I do feel bad for him. That was pretty sad. Dabo went up to, he's crying his eyes out. I can only imagine, what that feels like. But, just a great game by Carolina. Carolina stayed in it. Like I said earlier, I thought it was going to be a blowout from the get-go and throwing those 2 interceptions. But they stayed together as a team, and they did what they had to do.
Gotcha. Also had some other games. We'll mention one big one here before we go through the other ones. A&M defeating LSU 38-23. Josh, I know you were excited about that. Any thoughts on that game?
I mean, I was kind of excited because I kind of figured that, I heard some reports out of Texas A&M that they had their confidence up. They thought they could win that game. LSU went in there sleepwalking, just going by Texas A&M's record and how they've been playing. I don't think they prepared very well. They're probably looking ahead to Georgia. They just went in there kind of laid an egg. Even their star linebacker Perkins really didn't stand out in that game. Texas A&M showed what they can do, what they are capable of. Usually, when the game means a whole lot to Jimbo Fisher, he gets his players up and ready to go, and that game meant a whole lot to him. So,
Hey, mute me
Gotcha.
real quick.
I will mute you. Mute you real quick. Bryson, any thoughts on the A&M game? I know we were watching that at someone's house Saturday night. Yeah, Saturday night. Any thoughts? I know you were excited to see LSU lose as well.
Yeah, I mean that was a great game. Jordan Daniels, he did not have a good game at all. I don't think he even had one touchdown.
Is it
And that
Jordan?
was-
I thought it was Jelon Daniels or
I mean,
something.
yeah,
What's
my
his name?
bad.
Jaden.
Jane Daniels,
Daniels. Excuse me. He got hurt too as well. Correct.
Apologize.
He's out now. Correct.
No, he'll
If
be
I'm not
playing.
mistaken. Oh, he is going to play. Okay, I heard he was hurt. That's why I wasn't sure. I know he got hurt in the game. I didn't know if he came back or what.
He's walking with a boot on right now. I think he'll play.
Okay. Well, sources. Josh has got the sources, I guess. Bryce.
ESPN source.
Okay.
But I mean, A&M's running back Devon. I probably gonna say this wrong. I ain't gonna try to say his first name's Devon. 215 yards, two touchdowns. I mean, just running all over LSU. I mean, Daniels had nothing going for him on offense. He couldn't find nobody open. I was just horrible performance by him. I am surprised that A&M won. I thought LSU, would really win by 2 or 3 touchdowns. But I feel bad for LSU. They're gonna be playing like this coming in the SEC championship against Georgia. God bless their souls. That's all I got to say.
Rusty Caldwell Pope is in the chat tonight. He says LSU winning by 17 in the SEC championship game. Don't know about all that, but we'll see what happens. Preston, you got any thoughts on the LSU game?
No, honestly, I didn't see a lot of it. I was at work at that point, so I really didn't see it.
Gotcha. You excited to see LSU lose, or I mean, who'd you want to take that game as far as you?
Are you talking about the SEC championship game?
No, I know who you want to win that game. Not Georgia, probably, but I mean, who?
No, I want Georgia to win it.
Oh, okay.
But I do not want Alabama
I was talking
in the
about the
playoffs.
A&M game. That's true. That is true. That could happen. Definitely could happen.
Alabama's not going to the playoffs. If they
The
were
safest way, you're right.
if they were number 5,
I think
they would have a slight chance to get in. But I'm telling you right now, all of these conference championships are going to go to the favorites. They're all going to win.
Well, what if Michigan and USC lose?
They're not. Michigan losing to Purdue?
Never know. I'm telling you.
Bowl makers, watch out.
No,
Purdue
bro.
Boilermakers.
Dude, they're all.
What if
all
TCU and
time-
TCU and USC lose?
TCU's in win or lose. Unless they lose by 20.
I don't know about that.
No, if they
That's what
lose,
they
I
were-
think they're going to get bumped down a couple spots.
That's what they were saying on the show tonight. That
He
on
just
the playoff-
Josh don't want to get his hopes up. He just don't want to get his hopes up. Somehow Alabama squeaks in.
Look, TCU has the toughest strength of schedule right now in the top 4. They would have to get beat by 2 or 3 scores against Kansas State to get kicked out of it.
Yeah, I didn't admit Michigan. I didn't. Josh Graham. There's 2 comments here. Caldwell Pope says we all know Brian Kelly shows up for the big games. Yeah, right. And then Graham says Michigan's going to stay in regardless. So,
Michigan's in regardless.
Yeah,
But
I was just
they're
meant
not
like
losing for 2. They're going to cover the spread against Purdue. Michigan is on a mission to redeem against Georgia, and I will be pulling for the TCU Horned Frogs throughout this playoff.
Gotcha. Let's keep it going here. I'm going to mention a couple other games, and if you guys want to comment on them, and then we'll get into the player of the week. Also had USC defeating Notre Dame in the night game, and then we had Oregon falling to Oregon State 38-34. What was the other game? Oh, Georgia and Georgia Tech also had that game. Scared me for a little while. I ain't gonna lie. I thought Georgia might drop that game at halftime. I was a little nervous. I ain't gonna lie to you a little bit, but Any other games? Any other thoughts on those games? Who is phone is vibrating?
Hey, look, man, Georgia Tech pissed away some opportunities, man. They had dude was wide open over the middle of the field, ball hit him in the hands. He missed it. They dropped a couple of other passes. I don't think they would have won that game, but they could have had Georgia sweating a little bit if they could have played more cleanly. Oregon, I don't know what's wrong with Oregon. They were up big. And let Oregon State come back. Notre Dame, same thing, kind of like with Georgia Tech, dude. Notre Dame kept shooting themselves in the foot, turning the ball over. Okay, Georgia Tech's quarterback into the portal too. Yeah, Georgia Tech promoted whoever they had as interim coach to head coach, so they didn't make no big time hire. But Notre Dame had an opportunity to make that game be real close and possibly win, but they kept shooting themselves in the foot. I'm not too excited about Caleb Williams and how cocky he is, but yeah, he's probably the Heisman front runner right now. But yeah, they were playing a little too cocky for me, man. I hope Utah beats them, but I don't see it happening.
Gotcha. Rusty Caldwell Pope says the only place the Georgia Tech quarterback is going is to the varsity. Okay. Any other thoughts on those games? Preston, Bryson, any other thoughts? Any comments? All right, let's get into the player of the week. Player of the week for me, I went with the Texas A&M running back, Devon. I don't know how to pronounce his last name.
Anachi.
And that's
Dude ran the ball 38 times. That's a lot of carries, 215 yards, and 2 touchdowns in the win over LSU. If you run the ball 38 times, you got to be doing something right. That's a lot of freaking running. That's all I'm saying. I believe they had 2 other running backs, maybe combined for maybe 7 carries. So they ran the ball a ton. Bryson, you got a player of the week?
Yes, sir, I do. I'm going Sean Clifford, Penn State's quarterback. He went 19 for 24, 202 yards, and 4 touchdowns against Michigan State. I mean, that's pretty damn good numbers, if you ask me.
Gotcha. Preston, who you got as player of the week?
I'm going to keep it in the state of South Carolina and go Spencer Rattler. The guy just, performed better than I expected he would. He shook off a couple interceptions and he played really, really well. I respect him a lot for being able to do what he did. He was, he's very vocal in the week coming up to the Clemson game. He supported DJ and all the negativity that he was receiving versus the media and the fan base. He seems like he's a real standout kind of guy, and got to give him props for kicking the crap out of us.
Graham says if someone's player of the week isn't Kai Kroger, the South Carolina punter, then y'all crazy.
I was.
No, yeah, dude punched like 95 yards. He kept pinning Clemson inside the 5. I mean, it was just like on clockwork. They'd be on their 15, and he'd punt it to the 1. I'm like, what the hell?
Gotcha. And Rusty Caldwell Pope says Beamer ball, baby. That's what.
Beamer ball.
Got a lot of Carolina fans in here tonight, I guess. Josh, I believe you said you were going with the same player of the week. Josh had the A&M running back as well, correct?
Yeah, I just want to point out that A&M's wide receiver, Muhammad, he made some catches out there that were NFL catches in that game. I just couldn't believe my eyes, really. There were some really good catches. But, yeah, a Channy or Nachi or whatever his name is, running back.
Gotcha. And there was also some other players, too, I had thought about. There was another running back. I can't remember who it was off the top of my head who was I was on the fence of giving it to. But, yeah, let's keep it going here. Does anybody got a rant before we keep it going?
I got a rant.
Josh has got a rant. All right. Go for it, Josh. We do. Go ahead.
Here we go. Auburn Tigers, not my arch rival, but my rival. They came up with this story, fabricated this story about Brian Harsin sleeping with an intern to try to get him fired, talking about morale. And, they just can't have a coach that does that, blah, 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 blah. Terry Bowden was their coach. He went 44-7, and they fired him for having an consensual affair with somebody, but they fired him because they want to be on morale. But here they go and hire Hugh Freeze, who was fired from Ole Miss for having burner phones connected to escorts. So Auburn goes from a Cadillac to an escort, and that just, I'm fine with them hiring Hugh Freeze. I just think it's really stupid and contradicting of them to go and get Hugh Freeze. They wanted Lane Kiffin, they didn't get him, so they settled for Hugh Freeze. Hugh Freeze has barely over 500 record in the SEC. I just don't. They're gonna fire him in 3 years. But that's my rant. It's kind of ironic that you go hire a guy who got fired for having escorts tied to burner phones, and they were probably not for him. They were probably for the recruits. But still, that's not really good on the morale, so to speak, for the Auburn Tigers over there on the plains. You got a bunch of Auburn fans that are kind of upset about it.
Gotcha. You need some more energy, man. You got to come with energy when you have the rant.
That's my rant.
That's your rant. I'll let you do your rant. Anybody else got a rant? I'm gonna rant about one thing, but it's not gonna be that long. Anyways, I'll do mine real quick. We're gonna go to the NFL. We're gonna go to the National Football League. Let's go ahead and go to the New Orleans Saints putting up 0 fucking points against the San Francisco 49ers. We are awful.
0 fucking points.
We suck so bad. We ran the ball. I mean, dude, we ran the ball. We got 13 yards running the ball with Alvin Kamara. 10 yards with Mark Ingram. We ran the ball for a total of 23 yards. We ran the ball 11 times, and we only lost 13-0. While we run, I know 49ers got a good, a strong front, whatever. We ran the ball 13-0. That's what we lost by.
Y'all ran in the red zone several times.
And Mr. Red Rocket, I loved you. Whatever, Red Rifle, whatever the hell you want to call you, you can take that shit on somewhere. I mean, why not give Winston another shot? I don't understand it. 204, but he didn't throw a pick this time, thank God. But the game wasn't on TV. I caught a little bit of it on my phone, but I honestly I just gave up on it. I watched it. I knew we were going to lose the game. But damn, I mean, we put up 0 freaking points. We're an embarrassment to the National Football League. And we ain't even got a first-round pick. We don't even have a first-round pick. Why the hell we're losing, I have no idea. We should be going for everything we can to win, especially when we're in the worst division in the National Football League. I don't get it. So not only if you think Clemson's bad, go ahead and go to New Orleans Saints National, go to the NFL, to the team without the first-round pick, and they're still losing. So it's ridiculous. I'm sorry. Had to get it off my chest. But all right, let's keep it going here. Let's see. Rusty Caldwell-Pope, whenever he needs someone, he needs to pick up his orange and blue track phone. What does that mean?
He's talking about Hugh Freeze.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, yeah. Hugh Freeze is – Hugh Freeze
he also said at least he's –
Hugh Freeze's speech today. He said that he likes Nick Saban, and him and Miss Terry have been nice to him. Something blah blah blah. But then he said, "I hope Nick Saban is a little bit scared now."
Graham says Hugh going to have to freeze him works after those late night meetings with his escorts. Okay, he went there.
But for him to sit there and say he hopes Nick Saban is a little scared now really blows my mind. Scared about what? Auburn fired the only coach that could really beat him consistently. I know Hugh Freeze beat Nick Saban back to back, but that's all he did. That's all he did.
Gotcha. Let's get into the upcoming games. We got, I think we're doing about 8 championship games. I think we're leaving a couple out here, but we're doing most of them. So we're going to do our picks for the upcoming games. It's coming down to the nitty gritty. Josh, do you have the records for us? I didn't.
Yeah.
I know I wrote them down. Can you go ahead and go through the records for last week and go through the records overall?
So I went 4-4 with losing the Ole Miss, North Carolina, Oregon, and Notre Dame game. I went 4-4. That brings my record to 46-48. Chris, you went 4-4. That brings your record to 38-56. Bryson went 3-5. Brings your record to 41-53. And Preston, you went 2-6. That brings your record to 38-56. You are now tied with Chris.
Gotcha. All right. So we got the records. How many? So you're in the lead. I'm sorry, I missed some of it. You're in the lead, correct? Still Josh by.
I'm in the lead by 5 games over Bryson.
Gotcha. All right. Well, let's get into these picks. We got a few more weeks, and we also have whoever wins this will be the regular season champ, correct?
Yeah,
Yep.
whoever wins this last week. Yep.
Gotcha. So Josh is going for back-to-back regular season champs and then we'll get into the bowl games. We're going to do a separate one. If anybody wants to join that, I'll put some more information to that at the end of the stream. Before we get in, Graham says Hugh probably going to hire Mike Vick as his offensive coordinator, illegal activity coaching staff out here looking like the longest yard. That's what Graham says. All right.
Well, maybe he can hire
Preston, I'm going to mute you for a second while you're typing, okay? You're good, but I'm
good. I'm done.
Okay.
Maybe he can hire Deshaun Watson as the offensive analyst.
Gotcha. Let's keep it going here. Get into the first game here. We're going the Pac-12 championship Friday at 8 p.m. Las Vegas, Nevada. At what's the stadium called? I wrote down the stadiums at Allegiant Stadium. Is that which stadium's that in Las Vegas? Whose stadium
is that? The Raiders. The Raiders Stadium.
Yeah, Allegiance.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's Allegiance. I'm sorry. Anyway, Utah versus USC. USC favored by 3.5 in this game. Josh, we're leading off with you. Who you got?
Give me the Trojans. Give me the Trojans minus 3.5. I think they solidify their spot in top 4. And if they don't, that'd be great. But
didn't we?
I think they will.
We saw the USC and Utah game before, correct? Didn't they already?
Yes, Utah won 43-42.
43-42.
Utah won at the last second, and USC was gassed at the end of that game. It's hard to beat a team twice in the same year, but I think they'll do it. Or I think USC will do it. So that's
gotcha. Josh taking USC. Bryson, who you got?
I'm going with Utah. I'm a big fan of Cameron Rising. Like Josh said, I think it's going to be hard to beat a team again in the regular season. I just don't think USC can pull it off. They didn't look too impressive to me against Notre Dame, so I'm going Utah.
Gotcha. Preston looking over there like he's scared for dear life. Are you good? Anyway, USC, Utah. Who you got?
I'm going to take USC. I think they've got the prize in front of them. They know what they got to do, so I think they're going to take care of business. Caleb Williams is going to put on performance to solidify his Heisman.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to go with 3.5. That's what gets you. It's the 3.5. Yeah, I think I'm going to go with USC as well. Bryson might get this one, but I think I'm going to go. It's going to be 3 versus 1. I'm going to go USC. It's a team I've been, high on all season. I don't mind USC. I like to see them, play well. So pretty much the only reason I'm going with USC minus 3.5. Next game, we're going to the Big 12 championship at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Kansas State versus TCU, Saturday at noon. TCU favored by 2.5. Go ahead and tell you. Taking Kansas State. Josh, I know he wants TCU to win. I don't know. I've liked Kansas State some of the games. I know they've had some letdowns, but I don't know. I just feel like they're going to come out and play this game very well. How many losses? Kansas State's got what? 2 losses, 3 losses? Something like that. I don't know. I've watched some Kansas State games, and I just like what I see some of the times, and not all the time, but I feel like they're going to come out and possibly beat TCU here. So, Josh, who you got?
Yep, I'm going to go with TCU minus the 2.5. I know I said it's hard to beat a team twice in the same season, but just like Bryson said, he thinks Utah can do it. I think TCU can do it. I think they're going to go out there and play good defense and win this game.
Preston, who you got here?
Yeah, I think TCU is going to take care of business. Like I said, the same thing with USC. It's going to be like a broken record. I find it very hard for them to keep this game close. I know they've played close games, but I just don't see it at this point. I think Sonny Dykes, I think he's going to have them kind of coming out and ready to go.
I will agree with that statement, Graham. Max Duggan is a stud. I have seen some of him play. I do agree with that statement. Bryson, who you going with over there?
Chris, we're going to split the board here. I'm going with Kansas State as well. I think they can beat this team. I know TCU beat them earlier in the year. The score was 38-28. Yep. And I think Kansas State can do it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I believe it's going to be a great game. 10-point game last time. You never know. I know. You just never know. We'll see. TCU, I think, has looked better these last few weeks, but I don't know. I'm hoping Kansas State can do it. Anyway, next game, Sun Belt Championship at Veterans Memorial Stadium in Troy, Alabama. We got at Saturday at 3:30 p.m. Coastal Carolina versus Troy. So Troy is on their home field. Why is that? Dumb question. Why are some of them on the home field and some of them are not?
Well, the bigger Power Fives
Games. Okay.
have contracts with these bigger stadiums.
Gotcha.
Smaller
I was just curious.
Whoever has the best record will host.
Gotcha. Thank you, Josh. Let me get this comment off the screen here. Thank you, Josh. That's what I was wondering. Okay, Coastal Carolina versus Troy. Troy favored by 10.5. I believe Coastal Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, got killed last week. I think they've had lost some players. I'm not 100% on that. But Bryson, while you're over there, please stop what you're doing and make this pick.
I am going to make this pick, and my pick is Coastal Carolina.
Bryson's taking Coastal Carolina plus 10.5. Preston, who you got?
I'm going to go with Troy. I think the injuries are going to be tough for Coastal Carolina to overcome. I think they've got a couple other things they're dealing with down there in Myrtle Beach. So, yeah, I'm going to take Troy here. I think they're going to be able to cover the 10.5.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know much about either of these teams. Josh, who are you taking in this game? Could you give it? You got any information on Coastal Carolina? You know anything about them as far as the injuries and stuff? I know they got killed by James Madison last week.
I don't know much about Coastal Carolina, but yeah, they got crushed by James Madison. I do know a little bit about Troy. Troy can be competitive in some games with some bigger teams, bigger schools. I'm going to go with Troy minus the 10.5. Being at home plays a big part there. I think they blow them out.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with you. Just from what I've saw and what I don't know too much about Coastal Carolina, but what I've heard in recent news, I'm taking Troy here minus 10.5. I don't know if that's enough, especially getting killed here. What did Graham say in the chat? Chance by 90. Willie Horn is their offensive coordinator and might be the next Carolina offensive coordinator. Okay, no comment. All right. Let's keep going here.
Maybe he's already thinking about that South Carolina job, and that's why James Madison just tore him up.
Gotcha. I think he not talking about South Carolina? He said Chance Cox by 90. Willie Horn is their offensive coordinator and will be the next Carolina offensive coordinator. I don't know. No one? All right. Anyway. Sorry, Graham. Let's keep it going here. Next game, we're going the Mountain West Championship in Yulman Stadium, Boise, Idaho, or what did I put? Yulman, Albertsons? I don't know what stadium it is. In Boise, Idaho, anyway. I guess Boise State Stadium. Fresno State versus Boise State. Boise State favored by 3.5. Don't know too much about this team this year. I know more about Boise State in the past. Josh, lead us off again. Who you got?
Yeah, Boise plays really good at home. I'm going to take the Boise State Broncos at home. I like Fresno State, though. I've kind of kept up with them a little bit. They played pretty good this year. But like I said, it's hard to win on that blue turf in Boise, Idaho. And I think the fans play a big part over there, and I'm going Boise State.
Gotcha. Preston, who do you have in this game?
I'm going to follow Josh on that one also. I think it's going to be really cold in Boise. Fresno doesn't get terribly cold down there. My battery just gave me the percentage. It's 20%, so let's go quicker.
Hey, watch your mouth.
So I'm going to go with Boise.
They make chargers for a living?
Can't do it when you connect
I don't
with these
hear
stupid
it.
new ones.
I don't want to hear it. Your phone has died more than anybody in my lifetime, and it's died on this podcast before.
My phone's charging right now, so.
We got 3 more games. We got 4 more games after this.
You should not talk anything about anybody saying we got phone chargers for a living because you never charge your damn phone. That should be a rant right there in its own. Yeah, I'm agreeing with y'all. I'm going to go with Boise State. Don't know too much about Fresno State. I know they look like they've killed some teams this year, but I don't know. I don't know too much about them. I'm going with Boise State. Bryson, who you got?
Let's go. Clemson just beat Penn State in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. Let's go.
yeah.
101-94.
What the
Hey,
hell is the ACC Big Ten Challenge?
Alabama beat North Carolina. Yeah.
Is this basketball?
Yeah.
Yes.
They beat Michigan
Do you
State
think
and
that
North
the
Carolina.
football team scored 101 points?
No, I just didn't. I'm guessing it
I don't know
could
if
be
they scored
something
100
else.
points this
I knew it
entire
wasn't.
season.
I knew it wasn't football. I just didn't know if it was something else. I was guessing it was basketball. Bryson, who you got? Boise State or Fresno State?
Boise State.
Bryson's going Boise State minus 3.5. That is a sweep across the board. We're all probably going to regret that there. Anyway, next game, we're going to go. Are you good? All right. Anyway, let's keep it going here. I don't know why she opens the door. She knows when someone's in here. Let's go to the AAC. Is that the American Championship? Is that
American Athletic.
American Athletic.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. American Athletic Championship. Yeoman Stadium. I wrote the wrong one earlier. That's where that is. Okay. New Orleans, Louisiana at 4 p.m. UCF versus Tulane. Tulane favored by 3.5. Not so fast. I'm going with UCF. They got my boy John Rice Plumlee. He ran for almost 200 yards last week and a couple touchdowns. Honestly, don't know. They keep. I don't know if he's full on starting because I've seen some other quarterbacks play as well. I know he didn't play one of the games, but I don't know. They got my boy Plumlee. I got to go with UCF. Bryson, who you got?
Yeah, Chris, I gotta agree with you. I don't like UCF at all, but I like my boy Plumlee. He's a great quarterback, great runner. I think he runs all over Tulane this weekend. Give me USC.
UCF.
I'm sorry, UCF. Sorry.
I know Tulane has been good this year. Josh, are you going with Tulane?
Yeah, I'm going with Tulane. Can somebody tell me what happened to UCF Saturday night? Can somebody tell me that they were up? They were up big and lost.
Yep, and they came.
Oh, I thought they were up big and ended up coming back.
They won.
Winning, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken.
UCF won. They did come back, but they won.
Yeah,
Which South Florida's not a bad team.
Yeah, I like Tulane in this. Tulane's gonna have the home field advantage. I like what Tulane is doing. I thought that their coach would take the Georgia Tech job, but apparently not because Georgia Tech's just going to promote within. But yeah, I'm going to take Tulane. UCF did beat them earlier this year, so I look for Tulane to get redemption.
Gotcha. Graham says Plumlee is sorry, needs to stick to baseball. So, hey, don't make fun of my boy Plumlee, man. Plumlee, hey, he can run that rock. Might not be good, but he can run the rock. Preston, who you got?
Yeah, I'm going to ride the green wave here with Josh. I think Tulane's going to be able to do it.
Gotcha. All right, next game, we are going to go to the SEC Championship in Mercedes-Benz in Atlanta. The only championship that'll be played there this year because we know the Falcons are going to be there. Anyway, UGA, Georgia versus LSU. Georgia favored by 17.5. A lot of freaking points. Preston, who you got?
I'm going to go with Georgia minus 17.5. I think they're going to – I think this is an acceptable form to take the points.
Graham, sorry to get off subject here. Graham, I absolutely agree with you. South Florida is awful. The only reason that Bryson says South Florida's any good because they kept it close with Florida. One game we watched, he doesn't understand Florida sucks too, but I agree with you.
I know we suck.
Anyway, let's keep it going here. Josh, who you got?
Yeah, man, that's 17.5. I think LSU been preparing for Georgia ever since they found out they were going to play Georgia. I think that's why they had such a poor outing against Texas A&M. 17.5 is just a little too much for me in this game. I think Georgia wins maybe by 13 or 14. So I'm going to take LSU with the points.
He couldn't have said it better. I'm agreeing with Josh. I'm going with LSU. I think Georgia wins, but I don't think it's going to be by 17.5. Bryson, who you got?
I'm going with Georgia. I think Kenny McIntosh is going to have a big game, and the way the LSU was their run defense last weekend, I mean, they just god awful. And,
Good
McIntosh
point.
had a pretty good game against Georgia Tech.
And look,
I'm going with Georgia. I think Kenny McIntosh might be pushing 200 rushing yards this game. Maybe. I mean, I think he's going to be a
they like to
key
use other
factor.
backs too, so we'll see. Let's go to the next game. We're going to go to the ACC Championship in Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Clemson versus North Carolina. Clemson favored by 7.5. All right, we know who Bryson's picking, so go ahead and get it out of the way. Why are you taking North Carolina?
I am taking North Carolina, Chris. I like Drake May. He could be our Heisman winner this year.
Probably not anymore.
But yeah, I'm going North Carolina.
Preston, any faith in Clemson this week? What you got?
Hell no. Give me North Carolina.
No faith at all. I mean, you don't think
if DJ does what they say they're going to do, which is going to run him out to begin that game, Clemson has no
Do you
chance.
think this will be a high-scoring game or
no?
Okay, Josh, who you got?
I'm going with Clemson, man, to bounce back. I think their defense is going to be able to contain Drake May's passing. I do think that it will be a medium scoring game, something like 28-35, 28-31, 24-27, something like that. I'm going with
42-17.
No,
I'm going to go with Clemson. I'm going to go with Clemson to cover the 7.5.
I've been back and forth on this game. I want to take Clemson here. Do I do it? Clemson versus North Carolina 7.5. Probably going to be the wrong pick. I want to say North Carolina or Clemson wins this game by 7, but just because Preston is picking against them, I believe last time he picking against them, Clemson covered the spread, so that's why I'm going to take the Clemson Tigers to win by maybe 10. That's the only reason.
It's a mind game. It's a mind game. I'm playing.
Yeah,
Maybe I can.
Exactly. He's still gonna be happy when they go to the Steve's Dairy Corn Maze Bowl or wherever they're going.
They win this game.
They win this to go to Orange Bowl.
Orange Bowl, yeah, whatever. He's gonna be excited about the Orange Bowl.
Alabama,
Alabama,
Tennessee.
Hey, I want y'all all decked out when we do the bowl picks. Y'all better be decked out in gear.
Tennessee will go to the Citrus Bowl.
Anyway, let's keep it going here. I think we got our final game here. We're going to the Big Ten Championship. I didn't pick a game of the week just because these are all great games. Big Ten Championship, at least most of them. In Lucas Oil Stadium in Indiana, Purdue versus Michigan. Michigan favored by 17.5. Give me the Boilermakers. I'm taking them. I know Josh don't believe in them. Michigan's probably my second favorite team in college football. But something about the Purdue Boilermakers, I don't know does anybody know the story behind them? Because they were crying on the sideline last week after they beat Duke or something. Not Duke. They beat someone. If I'm not mistaken, was that Wake Forest? I don't know. Anyway, they beat someone.
I think they beat Minnesota, wasn't it?
Maybe I'm thinking of a different team. I hope not. Because
I think Minnesota played Wisconsin.
I don't know. So I think they were playing with a lot of I don't know. Played a lot of hard. I love Michigan. Michigan's probably my favorite team besides Georgia, just because I like Harbaugh. I don't know. Something about them Boilermakers always. I feel like they might keep it close here in the big game. Could be wrong, but I'm taking Purdue plus 17.5. Josh, go ahead and take Michigan.
Yeah, man, that's who I'm taking is Michigan. Only reason I think they may not cover the spread is if they get up big and they start taking some guys out, and Purdue kind of comes back and scores some trash touchdowns. But I think Michigan wins pretty big here, man. Purdue's not that good, man.
Gotcha. Graham says Cheez It Bowl for you, Preston, in the chat. Anyway.
I woke up feeling the cheesiest coach.
Bryson, who you got?
Yeah, Chris, I'll go with Boilermakers with you. I think Michigan's got that little chip on their shoulder thinking they beat the best team in college football. I think they're overlooking this game. But, yeah, I definitely think Purdue covers this game. So give me Purdue.
Gotcha. They better not overlook this game. I'm just telling you. You and that damn pen. Pick your pick. Preston, it's your pick.
I'm going to take Michigan here. I think no, give me Purdue. Give me Purdue.
You are lying. Hold on, time out. You are lying out your ass, Graham. Purdue wouldn't win if they got Drew Brees as their quarterback. back to play this game. Shit. Maybe not Drew Brees right now because Drew Brees
Graham,
was awful
I'm
towards the
giving
end
it
of his
to
career.
you. I'm giving it to you, Graham. That was the ultimate roast right there, man. That was the ultimate roast.
No, Drew Brees not now. Drew Brees was terrible towards the end of his career. Well, not terrible, but he was not good. I was rooting for Jameis to start towards the playoff game so they could throw it downfield. But, hell, I'd take Drew Brees right now over what we got, probably, to be honest with you. Drew Brees right now. I don't mean Drew Brees 5-10 years ago. I mean right now. Anyway, lock of the week. You guys got any lock of the week in this championship games, boys and girls, or boys, whatever?
Oh, man, it's hard to do locks. It's hard to do locks on championship
It is.
week, man.
It is hard.
I'm gonna go with Tulane.
I was going to go. I thought about UCF. You know, everybody. Honestly, I don't want to go against my team, but I think the best one here is probably going to be LSU plus 17.5. So that's what I'm going to do. I think it's going to be a 14 to 10 point game. Preston,
North Carolina.
Bryson.
Damn, that's a shame. I go on Utah.
Bryson's going with Utah. So we're all different here.
Utes.
That's good. At least we're all different. The Utes potato chips. Hey, you can buy them for 79 cents at your local grocery store. I love them. Hey.
The C&BSports been brought to you by Oots.
Hey, if we ever get big, that's going to be the first damn sponsor. I tell you that right there. Utes potato chips. Anyway, any thoughts? I mean, any guys before we go? Any thoughts on the top four or anything or the playoff rankings? I mean, Josh, no chance of Alabama getting in.
No chance for Alabama to get in. Ohio State's the one that has the chance to get in if USC loses. And they said if TCU loses a close one, they'll still be in because they have like 4 or 5 ranked wins on their resume.
So what if Alabama get in? I mean, how if it happens, how excited will you be, and what kind of chance do you give them? I know we could talk about that next week somehow if that happens.
Nick Saban, with all that talent, if they get in, I give them a good chance. In fact, I think they are the only team that could probably go toe-to-toe talent-wise with Georgia.
Yeah, I would be worried if y'all got in. I'm not fully sold on Georgia winning it all over the other teams either. Maybe Michigan I'm a little scared of, even though I'm picking Purdue against them. But I don't know. Bryson, or Preston, any thoughts?
Georgia. No.
Say what?
I said you're an ideal Georgia fan. Some of these other Georgia fans I can't handle. So if Alabama doesn't get in, I will be rooting for TCU or Michigan. Even though I don't want those big Yankee schools to win. I definitely wouldn't pull. So the reason I'm pulling for all the teams to win their championship games is because I do not want Ohio State in there.
Yeah. No, I agree. I don't know. I liked Georgia last year after they lost. I mean, I liked them last year. I said they were going to win it all, early in the year. I don't know. Something's sitting wrong with me right now. I just don't know what it is. I don't feel like it. I'm not feeling like it's their year. I know everybody says it is, but I don't know. Something telling me they're going to drop one along the way, but I could be wrong. Any thoughts, Bryson Preston, before we head out? Top four, anything?
Looks fine to me.
Clemson still got a chance to get in, though. I'm just kidding.
Hey,
Bryson, Florida State sucks.
Listen, yeah, Clemson is the lowest team playing Saturday. They're playing another game, so they can build on their resume.
They could still finish 12-2.
If TCU and USC lose, if TCU gets blown out and USC loses, and Clemson blows North Carolina out by 2 scores, I don't see how you keep Clemson out of it, being a conference champion.
If DJ's your quarterback, you punt that mother effer. You're like, no, you're not starting. You're getting the hell out of here. Get the first bus out of here.
Good question by Graham. Are we picking Army and Navy?
We need to pick
Navy.
We need to pick Navy.
So I'm saying, is that this upcoming weekend, or that's the following weekend?
Next.
It's the following weekend.
We can still pick it. Well, I guess we can pick it next week when we do the show.
I'm guessing we'll do it. Will we know the bowls by then?
Yes.
You should.
We'll know the bowl's Sunday. Sunday the show is at 12. The selection.
So if
show
we
is
know
at
the
12.
bowls, we'll just do the bowl. We could do the bowls and that if y'all want to go ahead and do it. But
I
that's up to
remember
y'all.
what we did last year is we didn't pick the bowl games on the show because there's so many bowl games and it's so drawn out. We just did
We only
the
picked like
invites.
we did like our top 10 that I think is going to be a very good game and like which ones we should watch.
Yeah, we did like 10 bowls and we picked those, but we did the bowl challenge on the ESPN app.
Yeah, we'll do that again. We'll probably do some of the bowl games. Maybe I'll pick the 10 best games out of them, or if anybody wants to give, I know there's a few people in the chat. If anybody wants to tell us what games we should do for the bowl games when they come out,
But sometimes players start opting out. You know what I'm saying? Like when it gets closer to the time for the game, like the Citrus
that'll be the
Bowl
following week
or something, they'll start opting out, and then we might pick. One of us might pick Oklahoma State, and then their quarterback decides to opt out, and then that would change my pick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. That's a good thinking. Yeah, we'll probably do that, and then we could do it later. We don't have to.
And we need to talk about Army and Navy's uniforms. Navy has came out with some damn uniforms, and it looks like the Space Force uniforms. They got an astronaut on their helmet, and then Army.
I haven't seen them.
Yeah, they're badass. Those uniforms are badass. I'll send them to you. But
Gotcha.
Army came out with theirs, and theirs is like something with a tank division, and they got like a faded green colored uniform. It's gonna be some good looking uniforms on the field that day. But yeah, Army Navy is a big game.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll do a short show next week. Probably won't be as long. We'll go live and do some recap and maybe talk about this game as well. Give our picks for this game and have it. Maybe the regular season, if it's coming down to one game, maybe we'll come down to the Army Navy game, or we could just have it as y'all want to just have it as just a game for fun, or I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just do it for fun.
Just do it to pick it. Gotcha. Yeah, I think that's what we did last. I don't know if we picked it last time, but I think that's what we'll do. All right. Any other comments before we go? Everybody good? All right. Make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube, follow, or whatever you do on Apple Podcasts. Beamer Ball says Bryce, dang, that actually looks pretty clean. Follow and download on Spotify. If you are in the chat, make sure you share the stream and share it on Spotify. I'm going to try to maybe promote more here shortly. I know it's coming to the end of the season, but maybe we can do something once the season's over. We'll have to figure something out. But yeah, appreciate you watching. Peace.
Thank y'all.
All right. We are still live on YouTube. I just did a piece for the Spotify. So, but everybody good, and we'll go off.
I'm gonna try to get on at 8:30 tomorrow for the NFL. Clay said that.
However, yeah, 8:30. Whenever. I know you said 8:30 is the best for you, so that's cool with me because I got schoolwork to do anyway. So it's cool, man.
And and y'all, I mean, you got to really make it a big deal that I won the week last week with the picks.
I'll make it a big deal.
Yeah, make it a big deal. This is my first time winning.
Is it really? I thought you.
Yeah.
No,
I've topped a couple of times. I might have won one week, but I don't think I've ever gotten 10 wins.
Preston, you stressed out up there? You look like you stressed out on the computer.
No, I'm trying to post my corporate social media thing, and then I got to rush home, pick up some cigarettes for my roommate, get some sleep, and be back here at 10 a.m.
What is the corporate social? What is that? What are you talking about?
Concert.
Okay. Yeah,
I gotta go.
All right, see you, Josh. I gotta finish my podcast or finish my project. All right.
Did you meet with him today?
No, I meet with him the 6th.
I met with him today at 1. I'm pretty much done. By the way, did you check you haven't taken out any loans, have you? For school?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, you need to do the loan exit thing.
Yeah, I got FAFSA though. Mine's not mine's a private loan. Mine's not
Okay, well double check because they might hold you they might put a hold on your account. Just double check because I just did.
Oh, you're talking about that. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah.
Are we still live?
Yeah, I'm about to end it. All right, appreciate you watching live, Graham, whoever. Well, peace out. We'll be live tomorrow for NFL if you are watching. Oh, by the way, if you are watching as well, we are going to do a bowl pick'em. I know no one's on here, but Graham, if you are on here still, we're doing a bowl pick'em. If you want to join it, I'm going to make it on ESPN, and you can join it as well. So, yeah. Peace.
My phone's about to die. See y'all later.